going? Welcome to episode 3 of Two Blokes, One Shed. Today we're going to be removing the head, replacing the head gasket and the head studs. Rightio, let's get into it.
I'm through with love hangovers. It's best that I stay sober. No rolling in the clover. No Gretna Green to Dover. No honeymoon in Paris. I only feel embarrassed for the cool cats, the charming kittens, both smitten by the love songs that he's written. Caught in the sights of a deadly sniper, the magic piper of love.
Alright, so it's Tuesday. Got back from work a little bit ago. And I've just sort of been going at it from the intake side. Rightio, so I've removed all the shit leading up to, or all the shit covering the tapper cover gasket. So now I've just got to take off these bolts, and with a little screwdriver I should just be able to pry it out. I'll take this throttle cable out at some stage because I will need to eventually, but I'm slack right now and it's late, so I just want to get this off to make a start, and then I'll probably call it quits after that. Never mind, need the 10. Ooh, there we go. I just had it running before, so it is a little bit hot. That's okay. Alright, so we have successfully removed the throttle body, plenum and intake manifold. As you can see here, got a fair bit of room. Yeah, made a bit of a mess with the coolant, unfortunately. And as you can see back there, kind of got shit everywhere. So I decided to push him out and just clean out the shed. And then while that was kind of drying out, I thought I would muck around here for a bit. I actually dropped the coolant. I just really have to take off the exhaust manifold. Yeah, I got to figure out how I can release tension on the timing chain, take the chain off, and then I'll be able to unbolt all the cam caps and then remove the cams so I can actually get to the head bolts, and then that'll be the good stuff. I'll be able to get the head off after that, and yeah, then we'll be able to get cooking. That'll probably be it for tonight, so I'll see you tomorrow. I've got a couple of cable ties here around the timing chain, keeping it close to the sprocket so I don't have to worry about timing when I go to put it back together. Yeah, it was quite tight, and I used, it's a 19 mil bolt, so I just got my 19 mil spanner and then just used an 18 mil just to give myself a bit of leverage, and I used a 1/2 inch extension just to go through one of the holes in the sprocket, and then I just rested on either side of the head, and I put this little bit of like alloy plate there just to do my best to not damage the head, and it doesn't feel like there's any grooves or anything there, and that feels fine. Now that we've got that off, we'll be able to rip these cams out, and I just got to make sure that I take note of which side's the intake and the exhaust, which all good and well now. Just got to make sure I don't mix them up when I go to put them on the bench. Yeah, once I rip these cans out, then I should just be able to get to the head bolts, and I still have to unplug this at the back here, but other than that, this head should be pretty close to being ready to be taken out. So let's get into that.
It was a real sunny day, we were chilling in the land of the camper down park, nobody had a frown. Reminiscing on the days where we used to have a blaze, everybody came around and we laxed out on the lays. And I remember when we'd drink and we'd smoke and we'd spar and we'd laugh, and the night would just go on and on. For the rest of my life that memory will stay, man, fuck, that was a good time. I don't feel afraid from you. I don't feel afraid from you.
Alrighty, so it's about 5:30. Just got the head off now. Yeah, it's looking alright. Obviously that head gasket hasn't let go, or else I would have known about it earlier. No, I'm pretty happy with how all that is, how that's looking. You can still see, I don't know if you can really see it through the camera, let me try. You can still see the cross hatching in the bores, which is pretty cool. So it's not too bad, not too shabby. Feels nice and smooth. Doesn't feel like there's any gashes or anything, any score marks in the bore. It's all looking pretty neat, all happening. I'll take you around to the back here where there's the head. I'll take this to work with me probably Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, no, it's looking all pretty good. I'm very happy with that. And yeah, I'll catch you next time after I pull the old head gasket off and deck the block. And then we'll put the studs in. So yeah, that'll be exciting. Little update at the moment. The head work is finished at the machine shop. I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but I have bought valve springs for it. Just some Kelford Cams high performance valve springs. They're only singles, they're not doubles. But yeah, the fellow at the machine shop said they'd be fine for what I want to do. I just thought I would have a crack at resurfacing this block. So I've scraped off a bulk of the gasket and I've sprayed gasket stripper on there. And as you can see, all that gasket shit is gone. It just needs a bit of a clean. It feels pretty smooth there. It doesn't really feel like there's a lip at all anywhere. So I'm pretty confident that all the gasket's off. It's just sort of left that surface there. That print obviously from where it's been. As far as I know, this hasn't had a head gasket done. Either way, it was running fine beforehand, no worries, compression was all fine, so obviously I wouldn't suspect any of that work done. But anyway, moving forward, I'm gonna have a crack at getting these dowels out and see what I can do. And if not, I'm just gonna go over it and work around it, I reckon. But yeah, we'll check back in a bit. Just thought I'd do a little voiceover part here. I didn't get any footage of me resurfacing the block at all. And what I did here, I'm just trying to work around the dowel, as you can see from the scratch marks, and eventually I just pulled it out. And I had to use vice grips and a socket, because that's all I had, to pull it out, and I munted them. So I had to get some more from Toyota. But yeah, worked around that for a bit and ended up pulling them out and resurface the block using an oil stone and various grades of sandpaper. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. As you can see in this photo here, it looks quite shiny, more so because of the angle I took it on, and also I did use a fair bit of brake cleaner to make it nice and clean, nothing left over on the top, so it would get a good seal when I go to put the head gasket and head on. The head gasket is on there. Gave the block and the cylinder head just a quick wipe down with some brake clean. And the dowels are in, gasket's on, and just sat the head down on top of it. And now I've just given all the threads a quick wipe with a rag. I'm gonna put a little bit of ARP assembly lubricant on the threads, just on the block side, just a little bit. Wind them down until they bottom out, and then loosen them about 180 or 360 degrees. And then I'll put a little bit of lubricant on the inside of the threads on these nuts here, and just a little bit on the top of the washers, not the bottom. And I'll be using these little Q-tip things, which my boss gave me, so that's handy. Didn't get footage of actually putting the head on because Fletcher helped me just getting it on, so I didn't have a cameraman for it, but that is all good. We're gonna see how this goes. I would have had it on much earlier if I remembered to put the sealant on the first time. So yeah, I was about to torque it down and then I just remembered the sealant, so I had to rip him all off, but that's all right. Got it all there now, just about to torque it already. According to Tuner Racing, their torque specifications are 108.5 Newton meters in 3 equal steps. 108.5 divided by 3 is about 36.17. So I'm just going to go 37 Newton meters for the first pass over, and then so on and so forth until I get to 108.5, or I might even do 109. I'll go over them all again when I'm finished with it, but no, I'm pretty happy with it. I believe those two little bolts there are just 20 Newton meters, because it just goes straight down into the timing case there. Yeah, no, I don't think they need to be very tight. It's just these 8 studs. No, sorry, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 studs are the main ones. Let's get into that. Just borrowing my co-worker's digital torque wrench. Snap-on too, pretty flash. Yeah, as you can see, I've got it set there. I don't know if the camera is really picking up on that, but yeah, 37 Newton meters there for the first one. So let's do it. I'm going to start from the middle and go outwards. Alright, so that's the first pass. That was at 37 Newton meters. Now I'm going to bump it up a little bit. So now we're doing just a little bit, it's not perfect, it's 75, so not exactly, but it's close enough. So we're just going to wing it. So that's the second pass. Now we're going to step it up to 108.5. I've now torqued all 10 studs down to 108 Newton meters. Just going to go over them one more time. I'm actually very happy with how that all turned out. That was very stressful. Don't know if you can see, but I am sweating. It's not really that hot. I do sweat pretty easily, but I am sweating because of that. Now I've just got these 2 little bolts here. Probably should have done them up in sequence, but I reckon it'll be okay. I'm going to wing it. Okay, cool. Sounds like they're about to snap, but that's okay. Shout out to my co-worker for letting me use his torque wrench. This shit's really fucking cool. Very easy to use as well. Anyway, it's a wrap for tonight. I'm very happy with this. I've been keeping it trapped in this shed with no head. Now it has a head, and I'm absolutely stoked about that. So next thing I gotta do is put the cams in, make sure they're timed. I'm confident with this. I reckon this is sweet. I was thinking that the chain had like almost most definitely fallen off, but like the bottom cog, but no, I think we're good. Anyway, that's all for tonight. I'm gonna go play some mini golf. I'll catch yous later. Good evening. It is Wednesday night, and I was supposed to have some mates come around and give us a hand putting these cams in, but they are a little busy. I thought, you know what, why don't I just give it a crack myself? It's not really that difficult, I'm just being paranoid, I guess. I've just put the intake cam in. I didn't video the intake cam because I didn't think I was going to video tonight, but I thought I may as well. So I'm just putting a little bit of assembly lubricant that my boss lent me on where the cam sits in the head. Just gonna put a little bit there, and then a little bit on the cam caps, and then I'll just sit the cam in and bolt the caps down, and that should be enough lubricant, I reckon. So here's the exhaust cam. Something I didn't do earlier was put this bolt in this scissor gear here, because if you can see, that's not actually one gear, it's actually split in two. And there's a spring there. Once I take this bolt out, this cam will spring back that way. It's just to put a bit of tension once it's meshed together with this intake gear, the intake gear on the intake cam. And that's just to stop the chatter from the two gears sitting together. There's 2 dots on the back side of the exhaust cam gear and then 1 dot on the back of the inlet cam gear, and they have to be aligned. They have to be facing each other for it to be in time. I've got the bottom at top dead center, and yeah, it's just where I've been sitting with this. We're back again. Got the cams all bolted in. A bit of a mishap. So the bolt that I had that goes through that hole to keep these scissor gears aligned, I had it coming in through this side, but it was coming out about that far. Couldn't get the cam cap on in any way, shape or form. So I had to ditch that and find a smaller bolt, take it in through the back way, and then I was able to get these cam caps down and everything's all good. The top there, don't know if you can really see, there's 2 dots on this side, 1 dot here. They're lining up next to each other, so that's good. That's the position for top dead. The cam gear sitting on there. I've just got this done up finger tight just for the sake of turning it over. That's on top dead there. I've just got the tensioner in and I've just wound it back just a little bit, just so there's tension on it there, and then I'll be able to release it very soon. Just starting to come in there. There we go. Okay, it seems to be. Okay, so down the bottom there, that mark, that's top dead there. That little divot, if you can see it. That little divot just above my fingernail there, just on that 0. So that's top dead at the bottom. It looks like it is top dead up the top there. Kind of hard to see, but there is a little dot here for the top. That's the top lobe. So it should be pointing directly upwards at 12 o'clock. And then, like I said, these 2 dots are lined up, but it's kind of hard to see. So now, moment of truth, I will get my side cutters, and I'm gonna have to put the phone down for this one. 3. Okay, all 3 cable ties are off. Everything should be good. It's all looking good to me. Right, yeah, time to turn it over. It might be a little bit, it's feeling a little bit harder to turn over than usual because I do have stronger valve springs in there. That's fine. Just carefully going through it now. Past the point of no return. The cam gear is now 180 degrees from where it was beforehand. I'm still turning it. Feels like it's turning quite nicely. Okay, that feels good. Okay, it still feels all good so far. This is, the 3RZ is an interference engine, meaning that when they push the valves down and the piston comes up, let's say it's out of time, being an interference engine, that means that the valves will hit the top of the piston, which will lead to bent valves, which is not good. I'm gonna keep turning over. It looks like I just went past top dead on the bottom, and it looks like it's at top dead here at the top, but I'm just gonna keep on going again. This is looking very good. There was a point there for a minute where I thought it wasn't good, but right at the start when I first released that tensioner. But looking at this now, it's very good. It's feeling good. Quite happy. All shall be goods in the hoods. I'm gonna keep on turning it over a few more times just for the sake of it, because I've spent so much time on this. You know, you want it to be proper. So that is top dead right at the bottom there. I fear the cams might be slightly out, but being an interference motor, like I said, it will hit if it's not in time correctly, but this thing's turning over quite well. So I think that should be good. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. looks like the chain did not actually slip off the crank gear, which is an absolutely massive relief. I can finally stop having nightmares and fever dreams of this motor blowing the fuck up when I start the cunt. But no, this is absolutely wicked. Could not ask for a better Friday night. So yeah, that is absolutely fucking great. This has been a wicked learning experience, to say the least. That's all for tonight. I'll check in tomorrow, fuck around a bit. All right, Monday over. It's just finishing up a few things while the long weekend is coming to a halt. I've got the intake side on, got the exhaust side on, but I've just got everything on there. Wiring harnesses back in. Just still need to muck around with these two. But I'm just thinking for now, I'm just going to quickly start it, make sure it runs. I know there's no radiator, no coolant in it, so I won't run it for long. I just want to see if it does start. So terminal back on. Quickly wipe my hands. Let's see how we go. Here goes nothing. Try again. Backfiring a bit.
That's not supposed to.
I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it. Yeah, go. Yeah, boy! Woo! Fuck yes! Fucking first go, cunt. Are you kidding me? Fuck yeah! Rightio, so we are back. There was quite a bit of this that I didn't video because I was just trying to piece together what I could when I could. Everything is back on now. I just want to do a bit of a coolant flush and then I'll bleed it up and it should be good to go. I've got both the top and bottom rad hoses connected. I'm just going to take off the radiator cap. I've already got this disconnected. Where else? I might take that off too, and then just get the hose and just start flushing out as much as I can, because there's a little bit of shit that fell in the block as well. And I'd just like to flush all that out and yeah, just have like a nice clean slate. The only thing that I really need to replace the plug for that, if you can see that, the terminal is in there, but the plug is broken off around it, and this coolant inlet, I got one of those off AliExpress for about 20 bucks, so that should be here in another week or so. But yeah, other than that, everything went back where it should. Don't have any leftover nuts or bolts, which is great. Just as I started to flush the coolant a little bit, I had to move that hose clamp a little bit because it was just starting to bubble out and piss out there a little bit. So I've just moved that hose clamp right to the edge, really getting the most I can out of this, and I've tightened it just enough to the point where I think it's going to hold pressure but not crack the inlet. I've already gone through the rad hose for a little bit and through the radiator. I just want to go through this heater hose and I'll just muck around for a little bit. That's already coming out of there. To me, that water looks fairly clear. I'm happy with how that's looking. You don't see anything coming out of that inlet, do you, Fletcher?
No.
Okay. Bit hard with the garden hose. Ideally, you should be using properly distilled water when you're bleeding a coolant system or anything like that. Fuck it, I'll just take this bastard off. So you just sort of want to flush it through as many different points as you can. That's how I do it anyway. Just sort of clear out what you can. Yeah. What I like to do is I'll put this on. I'll put this clamp back on for the radiator. Top rad hose, I mean. Cool. What I like to do, fill up the radiator until it's proper choppy. and then once it is full, I just like to drop it out of the bottom. So I'll flush the system, and then I've filled the radiator up with water, and then I'll just drop it out of the bottom. I'm just gonna drop it all out of there. As you can see, it's all very clear. It's just straight water. Anyway, so yeah, just dropping everything out of the radiator there, and then I'll go ahead and put my concentrate in there. Sorry if I got a bit on you. I just got 2 litres of red coolant, just borrowed that from work from my boss, so thank you. I usually just put about 2 litres in for something this size. Don't have exact specifications. You probably could find it somewhere in a workshop manual or something like that, but I'm just winging it. I'll put that in and then get as much of it as I can in before turning it on, and then obviously when I can't get any more in, I'll turn the vehicle on and just watch the coolant level, make sure it also doesn't get too hot either. Don't want to be having any dramas or anything, but the way this is flushed, I'm pretty happy with it. There's not going to be any blockages or anything. Like I said earlier, I did get Fletcher to start this on Wednesday, and I was just checking for any fuel leaks. I'll also be checking for fuel leaks while I'm bleeding it up. But yeah, let's get him going. Fuck, that does not sound good. Holy what is that? Fucking knocking and ticking and shit. Fucking hell. Alrighty, so first drive in the Luxie tonight. I haven't done anything about that lifter drama, that tick drama. I just let the cooling system up and got him to running temp, as you can see there. As you can see in there, but that's alright. Gonna go for a drive.
Do you reckon that thermostat inlet will come undone? The one that's all crowded away?
I don't think so. It seemed to hold the pressure. I had the pressure cap on it for a little while, the rad cap on it for a little while. That last video of me just finishing off the test drive, that was about 3 weeks ago now, and I've just been very slack with editing. I've just finished editing it now, and I just thought I'd do a little wrap-up video to sort of conclude things a bit better. Overall, very good. Haven't had any dramas. That ticking noise has disappeared somehow, and yeah, it all sounds pretty good. I'm very happy with it, and I'm keen to continue with this build. I've just ordered a rising rate fuel pressure regulator kit from Tuna Racing, and I ordered that probably getting close to a week ago now, so that should be coming soon. I need to order a fuel pump as well, and then I'll just hook that up, and once I got that good, I'll order a 6 boost manifold, and probably I'm thinking a Pulsar, either a 3076 or a 3660. Either way, we'll see how that goes, and then just run a little hot pipe straight to there. I think I'll only be able to run 7 or 8 PSI on a stock ECU, and then I'll probably go injectors first and then an ECU. Probably just go with this Haltech 750, and yeah, we'll see what we can do with the wiring. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, I'm very happy with it. The daily gets me from A to B, so can't complain. Anyway, too easy. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in episode 4.